So how's everybody today? I'm trying to look on the screen to see who I've got. So if you're logged in, maybe just shoot me a quick chat. Let me know who's here, and we're going to get rolling soon as we started a few minutes late. I've got a lot of material I want to bring forward. So I will wait here for a moment. I'll wait just a couple more minutes. And if I know we've got people online, just shoot me a quick hi, hello, wherever that is, and we will start momentarily. So it looks like we've got about 8-9 people logged on. So I think I'm going to jump right in, and in the next 20 minutes, try to go through as much information as we possibly can. But welcome. I'm on vacation. I'm not at the golf course. I could be later today. I'm sitting here in Calgary where we're at 25 degrees Celsius. So not too bad of a day. So I'm going to get us right to our screen, and we're going to jump right into our proposal. And as we go through this, my plan is to give us enough time at the end to answer some questions. So as we go through it, if you got questions, put them in the chat line, and I will get to those as we go through this. Today we're going to talk about how to close more deals with a 6-slide proposal. My name again, it's Dale Norlin. I'm the Director of Business Development for a company called KO Advantage. We're a company that provides consulting services, Fortune 500 level training without having to pay the big price tag. Our main goal is to help small and medium-sized businesses succeed. Kim Orlesky, who is the creator of KO Advantage, has a strong background in the sales industry, going right back to 2007 through finish off with American Express. Took some time off and realized there was a real need to help business people and help salespeople grow their businesses, which is where we come in today. Naturally, that is Kim on the left. So let's jump into it. When is the right time to propose? As salespeople, and we're all in that, myself, I've been in sales for probably the last 30 years, everything from selling cell phones to clothing to I'm in the self-storage industry. We're all selling a product, and every person that we're working with has a journey. It starts right off being aware of a problem. Get them to agree that they have a challenge or that the challenge is within their future. Seeking a solution, start the process of sourcing possible solutions that can be performed. We want to collaborate. We want to bring other people in. So begin the process of involving third parties into the discussion to find the best possible solution. Generally, the challenge is, how do we find the right fit? How do we make those decisions that need to be done? So the buyer is typically going to look internally if the solutions the third party are presenting are as good as they claim. Naturally, it gets to the purchase. The buyer at that point has made a decision based on the fit for their organization. It's either choosing internally or looking outside. And once you've completed the sale, purchaser makes the sale, they enjoy, and they're going to begin to tell the experience of what they went through with you as a salesperson. Buyer satisfied with the decision, willing to share their experience with others. If not, the buyer chooses to go through it all again. Ultimately, the best advertising is our clients themselves. So what does that journey look like? What do you as a salesperson want to take your prospective client on? It's a journey. You as the individual, how do you prospect? Getting the proper prospects and identify. The buyer technically is not even aware there's a problem. But you as the individual, the salesperson, what's the number one goal? And the number one goal we teach through KO Advantage is we want to help you get the meeting. So to you as a salesperson, get that meeting. Understand what the need is and get before them. As you get into that, you begin to qualify them. You start to understand, okay, what are the client's goals? What are their restrictions? What's budgets? What's timelines? You begin to lead qualify them. As you move through the next step, it's all about value creation. Create some open-ended questions, such as what would a solution mean to the prospect? How will they know? Why is that important? How would that feel? The important thing is we're taking people on a journey. I've said it once and I'll probably say it a few more times, because everything that we do has an end goal. The next step is a proposal. It's the intention to buy, knowing what their needs are to best meet their solution. And when we get to that proposal stage, what is so critical is that we don't present anything brand new. If we've done our job through prospecting, qualifying, creating value, helping them understand what their product is worth, if we've done our job correctly, our proposal is what will break across the line, but it's a summary of everything we're done. We move into closing the sale, negotiate purchase. And finally, it's follow-up and referral. That's what helps businesses grow. That's why we need each other. So let's fly through this in the next few minutes. Slide number 1, be a tour guide, not a dog pulling a leash. Spend time with only your ideal clients. Understand your ideal buyer persona. What about his person and company makes him a fit for you? What values do we share? Too many times we can waste time on people that we're just not of the same mindset, where you don't have the same goals. We don't have, not necessarily we have to have the same background, but the same values. Because as a salesperson, you are looking to create that person that you're going to work with them through this deal and through that deal. So use our time wisely. Time is short. Find out who these people are, whether you're going to find them at trade shows, you're going to find them at events like today. We're getting creative with this online world. Our boundaries have grown so much. So go find those people, spend time with them. Sell to everyone, but sell to no one. What does this mean? Be specific. Be specific in who your market is, because when you've got a defined product, a defined topic of which you are working people through, those ones that you will target will feel that you appreciate them, that it's specific. They feel that you are an expert. We all have skill sets. So let's take those and let's be very specific in who we're selling. We want to create value constantly. Value is initiated in the first conversation, whether it's that elevator pitch. We all probably know where elevator pitch came from, but consider getting on an elevator. You wanted to meet the CEO and he shows up and you got 15 seconds to get your point across. Do it, know it, own it. Cold calls is a fact of life. We go through these. That's one way we're going to find them. emails. Technology has allowed us to reach out to so many people. Every interaction is a sales interaction. Remember that every phone call, you never know what's on the other end of the line. Every time you're with someone is an opportunity to sell. Let's talk what a proposal is not. Proposal is not scope of work. It's not the letter of intention. It's not the contract, or it's not a document that it's hard to read through. That is information that you work through as you are working with the client, through lead qualifying, through creating value. But let's talk about what a proposal is. It's a selling document. Your proposal is your final selling document. It overviews the journey you've gone on. It summarizes their goals. It bridges the gap. What we're doing is we're understanding where the client is today, where they want to get to in the future. And if your product and your service is what is going to help that person get to the finish line, your proposal is about telling it, telling the story, giving them the ability to look at it and see it and understand it. So the structure of a proposal goes this way: overarching goals. What does the client's ultimate goal want to be? In our business, we're talking with business owners, salespeople. Generally, most of them are saying to us, I want to increase revenue. I want to create, I need more clients. So what are those goals? Number two, current state and consequences. Where are you today? What does the landscape look like? If you do nothing, if everything stays the same, what are the consequences, both good and bad? Thirdly, where do you want to get? At the end of the day, if you could write it on a piece of paper on what that looks like, what is it? Fourthly, the product or the service and how will it support there? If you're an industry where you've got various products and you got various options you can give, what is that product? Maybe it's one or two options that you have determined is the ideal product for your client. Spend some time on the proposal. Show it to them. Explain it. Fifthly, timeline. Everybody needs to visually see, where am I at today? 3 months later, this is where I want to get to. And if there's various positions along the way that things need to be done, the timeline gives people the reminder that after 30 days, this has got to happen. After 60 days, this has to happen. And you're walking them through and giving them something that they will always come back to as a reference point to say, you know what, I'm behind. I've got to speed that up. And then lastly, the client investment with the rate of return. In our industry, as we are basically selling a sales training program, we know there's an investment that our clients need to pay, and only the client can determine this is good value. That becomes the last part of your proposal. 6 simple things that will allow people to go, he heard me, he took time to put the plan together, and he presented it in a way that I can refer to it time and time again. What's probably most important in the sales process? Understanding the client's goals. I like this first slide. It says, your client has goals and ambitions that do not include you. We are a conduit. We are there to help them get there, but it's not about us. It's about them. What do they want to achieve that's bigger than what you have to provide? And how does your solution fit into that picture? Let's spend the time and understand our client. And it doesn't matter what product it is. It could go right back to selling suits. My very first job was at Tip Top Tailors. People come in with needs. It's a grad suit. Well, let's find them that. Listen to them. It's their story. It's their goals that they're wishing to reach. And let's understand the destination versus the transportation. Focus on where you're taking your clients and how you're going to get there. We all know that at this stage in our lives, the world that we're living in today, how many of us would like to cross the border and go someplace else? I'd love to hop in a plane and go to Mexico tomorrow. And if that was possible, how am I going to do it? But understanding right now, we're stuck here. Life could be a lot worse. But maybe where you are today, it kind of sucks. Maybe the client that you're working with is stuck in a rut and he doesn't know how to get out of it. Let's understand that. But let's also give them hope. Let's ask them questions. Let's allow them to begin to understand and look forward, not look behind us, but where do I want to be? Solutions are part of the big picture. So what are the key benefits to the product or service that you're offering? Do you believe in the product you're selling? If we don't believe in ourselves, how can we expect the client to do it? My father-in-law told me this many, many, many years ago, and I've used it so many times. Every person most likely is a salesperson. What does it take? It takes a product that you believe in. Believe in a product, you can sell it. If you're not totally convinced that you can get behind it, chances are you're not going to sell it. But imagine you're in front of your client and you know exactly the product it is. You know that it's going to meet the need. Well, then let's give them those 3 to 5 key points that will demonstrate how it's going to be that turning point, that moment that's going to allow you to tell your client, this is how it's going to help you. You know what? All the details surrounding it, you know what? Save that till later. That'll go in a contract. That comes in due course. But before you can get to a contract, you need the client to agree first. That's why it's so important. Take your time to hear from them. When do you want to do this? The client will choose to delay or not to buy if the timeline's vague. Give your clients what they need. Give them direction. Give them leadership. What other decisions are dependent on this going forward? If it's other people in the department that need sign off, understand what that is. Work to find the solution. It's a story. Psychology helps people take actions. Stories move people because they did that too. Time moves people to urgency. There may be a point where your client is up against it and he needs to decide in the next 24 hours. Don't use a scare tactic, but tell it as a story. You've listened to your client. You want that client for life, but they may be in a situation where they don't have time to waste. Do your part. Listen. Make a plan. It's not up to you to tell the client their rate of return. It's up to you to ask the questions and the client tells you. Ask those open-ended questions. Hear from them. Hear what they're going through. Price is not the landing point, but it's the opening. And never show a price without explaining what their investment will give. How many times have you encountered a situation where somebody says, what's the price? Their opening question. We quickly identify, are you a price shopper or not? How to use price and how to use it in that sales process is so vitally important. You know, in most cases, price is never the objection. When the client brings up price, it's because they may not understand the value they're receiving. So give them a reason to understand what they're getting. Simply put, If you were buying a car and one car was worth $30,000, another car was worth 50, what am I getting? What am I missing? Maybe you're in the real estate world, and there's various different price points of different houses. People may simply say, well, what am I getting for that extra $100,000? So when the price question comes up, ask more questions. Figure out where they're at and allow them to tell you where the conversation needs to go. We all love budgets. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, even our own lives, we're probably not the greatest at this. But a budget tells us what we can afford, but it doesn't stop us from buying it. You know, I'd love to go buy a $50,000 car. I could justify it. I could look at it. The budget may say it's a little bit too tight, but oh boy, do I want it, so I'm going to make cuts. Let me give you some tips on how to create a better proposal. Let's talk practical. PowerPoint. Ask the questions. Focus on the results. Create the positives, not the negatives. And the last slide I'm going to show, and then I'm going to open for a couple questions. Ask your closed-ended questions and then just wait. Don't be afraid of silence. Allow time. Allow your client to consider everything you've told them, and at the end of the day, say yes. Because you know what? You've made it this far. Wait an extra 30 seconds. You may just get your answer. I want to move right to the end, and I'm just scrolling through this screen. If some of this information was helpful to you and you want to know about what we can do to help you in your sales industry, write down that phone number. That's my cell phone number. Send me a text message. I'd love to talk to you further. And write down this email address, kimorleski.com/CVSC. We want to get some information into your hands. We want to dialogue with you further. We want whatever you're doing to be a success, because when you succeed, we succeed. We know what our mandate is. Our mandate is to help everybody succeed in what they do. I'm going to come back to the screen and make it available myself for any questions. We've got about 2 minutes. So if there's anybody that is here that you want to touch on something, please bring that forward. But again, there's so much that we could cover. I want to type something in for each of you once again, and it's simply this. If you want to talk further, here's my number. I'm going to mark it down. Shoot me a text message. Let's talk again. But again, we want you to succeed. I'm thankful for those that joined me this afternoon. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and there's so much more, but we want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. And people, let's go make it happen. So, any questions? And if there's nothing further, look me up. I'm on LinkedIn, Dale Norlin, KO Advantage. You've got my phone number there. I hope this has been helpful for you. And may the rest of your day be good. Enjoy the long weekend for us that are in Canada. And glad you spent some time with me. So all have a great day.